Good morning everyone, this is Teacher Ann again, and today we will learn a new topic, and it is all about the volume of a rectangular prism. So in this discussion, we will learn how to find a rectangular prism volume by using the volume of a rectangular prism formula. The volume of a rectangular prism is the measurement of the total space inside it. Like for example, let's imagine a rectangular container filled with water. And in this case, the total quantity of water that the container can hold is its volume. A prism is a polyhedron having identical bases, flat rectangular side faces, and the same cross section all along its length. Prisms are classified as per the shape of their base. A rectangular prism is categorized as a three-dimensional shape. It has 6 faces, and all the faces of the prisms are rectangles. So in this discussion, let us learn the formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism. So before we go on and how to solve or how to calculate on finding the volume of a rectangular prism, let's first define what is the volume of a rectangular prism. So the volume of a rectangular prism is defined as the space occupied within a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism is a polyhedron that has 2 pairs of congruent and parallel bases. It has 6 faces, which is all the rectangular, and 12 sides and 8 vertices. As the rectangular prism is a 3-dimensional shape or the 3D shape, the unit that is used to express the volume of the rectangular prism is centimeter cube, meter cube, and so on. In mathematics, any polyhedron having all such characteristics can be referred to as cuboid. So now we have an idea of what is the volume of a rectangular prism. Again, a rectangular prism is a 3-dimensional object with 6 rectangular faces. A rectangular prism is also referred to as cuboid. So now let's talk about the volume of a rectangular prism formula. The formula for the volume of a rectangular prism is equal to base area times height of the prism. Since the base of a rectangular prism is a rectangle, its area will be L times W, or length times width. This area is then multiplied by the height of the prism to get the volume of the prism. Therefore, another way to express this formula is by multiplying the length, the width, and the height of the prism and write the value in cubic units, like for example centimeter cube, meter cube, inches cube, and so on and so forth. Excuse me. So therefore, the formula for the volume of a rectangular prism is volume of a rectangular prism V or V equals to L times W times height, where the L stands as the base length, W is the base width, and H is the height of the prism. To find the volume of the rectangular prism, we multiply the length, the width, and the height, and that is the area of the base is multiplied by the height. It should be noted that the volume is measured in cubic units, like what we have or like what I have said earlier. And there are 2 types of a rectangular prisms: the right rectangular prisms and the oblique prisms. In this case of a right rectangular prism, the bases are the perpendicular to the other faces. In the case of an oblique rectangular prism, the bases are not perpendicular to the other faces. Thus, the perpendicular drawn from the vertex of one base to the other base of the prism will be taken as its height. Excuse me. It should be noted that we can apply the same formula to calculate the volume of the prism. That is, the rectangular prism volume formula is, or V equals length times height times width times height, irrespective of the type of rectangular prism. How to find the volume of a rectangular prism? Before calculating the volume of a rectangular prism using the formula, we need to make sure that all the dimensions are of the same units. The following steps are used to calculate the volume of a rectangular prism. So, step 1, let's identify the type of the base and find its area using a suitable formula as what I have explained in the previous section. Step 2, let's identify the height of the prism, which is perpendicular from the top vertex to the base of the prism. And then step 3, let's multiply the base area and the height of the prism to get the volume of a rectangular prism in cubic units. Or volume equals base area times height of the prism. Excuse me. So, to really understand how to get or how to calculate the volume of a rectangular prism, I will gonna give you an example. Like for example, in this problem, calculate the volume of a rectangular prism whose height is 8 inches and whose base area is 90 square inches. So, we can calculate the volume of a rectangular prism using the following steps. Using those 3 steps that I have explained previously. So, step 1, the base area is already given as 90 square inches. So, we don't need to problem about the one because the base area is already given, which is 90 square inches. So step 2, the height of the prism is 8 inches. So it is already given also. So step 3, in the step 3, we will now multiply the base area and the height of the prism. So the volume of the given rectangular prism is equals to base area times height of the prism is equals to the base area is 90 square inches. So our base area is 90 times the height of the prism. The height of the prism is 8 inches. So now let's multiply the 90 and the 8. 90 times 8 is equals to 720 cubic inches. So that is our volume of the rectangular prism. It is 720 cubic inches. So I have another example here, another problem. So the problem is, if the volume of our rectangular prism is 40 cubic units and its base area is 10 square units, what is its height? So in this problem, let's find the height. So given the volume of the rectangular prism is equals to 40 cubic units. And the base area of a rectangular prism is equals to length times base equals to 10 square units. So using the volume of a rectangular prism formula, base area times height of the prism is equals to 40 as what in the problem said. So the height of the given rectangular prism is equals to 10 times height is equals to 40. Thus, the height of the rectangular prism is equals to 40 divided by 10 is equals to 4 units. So the answer is 4 units. The height of a rectangular prism is 4 units. So I have here another example. The problem is, or the given is, the length, width, and the height of our rectangular prism are 15 cm, 10 cm, and 5 cm respectively. what is the volume of the prism? So in this problem, we will gonna calculate what is the volume of the prism, because the question is what is the volume of the prism. So of course, we have to find the volume of the prism. So given the length is 15 centimeter, the width is 10 centimeter, and the height is 5 centimeter. By the volume of our rectangular prism, we have the formula, which is the volume equals length times width times height. So therefore, using the volume of the rectangular prism, V is equals to the length is 15 centimeter and times the width, which is 10 centimeter, times the height, which is 5 centimeter, is equals to, we will gonna multiply the 3. So 15 centimeter times 10 centimeter times 5 centimeter is equals to 550 centimeter cubic. So that is the answer, 550 centimeter cube. So that is the end of our discussion today, and I hope you have learned a lot. You have learned something from our discussion today, and thank you for listening, and God bless us all. Goodbye.